Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to the movie review, aka After I Saw. This time is going to be on Evil Dead Burn. Now, after this woman loses her husband, she meets up with her in-laws to stay at their house, but one of them turns into a deadite, and because of that, you know exactly what you're in for. A lot of mayhem involving the deadites possessing one another, and a lot of blood, a lot of carnage. You know exactly what to expect from an Evil Dead movie, because it's been that way ever since the original Evil Dead that came out in 1981, leading up to this movie. Now, of course, when it comes to some of the previous ones, not specifically the Evil Dead trilogy, but with Evil Dead Rise and the Evil Dead remake, you don't particularly have to, follow the entire lore of that. You could just watch the movies purely for some bloody entertainment, and that's always what these films have been about, because Evil Dead Rise was a roller coaster ride of pure fun. It's a shame that the director had to direct that new Mummy movie, because I feel like he would have done a lot more had he just gone on to direct this. But regardless, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's not the best Evil Dead movie. There are some faults to it. In fact, I don't think many people are, undeniably, there's going to be some people that will really enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed it. But I feel like, it's gotten to a point where, because these Evil Dead movies don't have Sam Raimi behind the camera, but that really shouldn't matter because he directed a really fantastic movie this year already. So, yeah, but I feel like, when it comes to the newer Evil Dead films, they can still manage to do their own thing without feeling like they have to fully recapture what made, the humor side of the Evil Dead franchise, so iconic, because these ones definitely play a lot more seriously. Everybody, is just moaning and groaning because, they lost a beloved member of their family. And yeah, everyone is mean to one another. And yeah, this is a cruel, mean film that really does not have any heartwarming moments whatsoever. But that's really the purpose. I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people might complain about. But this is a horror film. What did you expect? My Neighbor Totoro or something? I don't know. But yeah, it's really what I expected from this movie. And all around, it was just a bloody ride of pure fun. And easily the best part is, of course, the Deadites. They are cruel, they are entertaining, and it does have a little bit more of the humorous side. Not like laugh out loud, burst out your gut laughing every single 5 minutes or so, because it does definitely play more of that slow-moving, well, not particularly slow, more on the lines of being, relatively, brutal, while also being, having a little bit of elements of humor. So yeah, I feel like, it definitely adds on a little bit more of the humorous side than something like Evil Dead Rise. But I definitely feel like one of the weaker aspects is the family. None of them are really interesting. In fact, they are a lot more interesting when they do turn into Deadites, specifically with the father-in-law. Yeah, he is a brutal, mean guy, and I was just on a... Yeah, there's literally a part in the movie involving a dog. Yeah, I'm not even going to bring that up because you pretty much know where that's going. And when it comes to the kills, it gives you exactly what you expect. The opening sequence alone gives you exactly what to expect later on. And when it does finally manage to get to the pure mayhem involving the Deadites, it does not slow down. I will say, though, the movie's definitely a bit too long, as most of the movies just tend to be an hour and a half long. This one is closer to 2 hours, but there really wasn't too much of a reason for that. The opening sequence, the title sequence doesn't even happen until 15 minutes into the movie, so they definitely could have shaved off a little bit of that time, but I understood what they did, But I'm not going to get into any major spoilers, but all around, this movie just gave me exactly what I wanted. But compared to some of the previous Evil Dead films, it really doesn't have a whole lot new stuff going for it, but I don't really feel like that was the entire intention. I feel like the intention was, to bring in more of what fans wanted from Evil Dead, even if it's not like Sam Raimi or all that. Sure, he produced these movies, and Bruce Campbell executively produced it, But I still got plenty out of this one. And in the end, guys, Evil Dead Rise certainly was a good amount of fire for this nearly 2-hour runtime. Sure, it might not be entirely necessary to make it that long, but this was all around a really fun ride of pure bloody mayhem, and it's exactly what I enjoy about these movies, even though there really isn't anyone to root for in this movie, but I don't think that was entirely the purpose. The Deadites are still fantastic, and while some of the effects aren't as impressive as some of the previous films, but I'm not really going to compare it all that much to the previous films because it's still relatively, a different movie, a new movie. But I would still say, some of the other previous ones. In fact, I think all the previous ones are better, but that's not saying a whole lot. I still had myself a flaming good time with this one. Oh yes, you know exactly what's coming next. My thoughts on the new Moana movie. I cannot wait to talk about that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or maybe Blue Sky. Links are in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.